Christ, mine, what a pleasant surprise. If you come to inquire after the Archon's fear not, Master Metelier treatment has proven effective in stabilizing their corporeal ether. We mustn't grow complacent, however. Potent though these magics may be, they are not without limits. We can only hope they afford us enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete his work. If only we could go with you to the first enclave. Pardon the interruption, but I come bearing urgent news. I got it. It has been far too long, my friend. Forgive me, I don't believe we have been formally introduced. Maxima, former Garland ambassador, remain here in Borgia under the auspices of Commander Adeline, offering counsel and kin in hopes of resolving the present conflict with the Empire. Ah, yes, I have heard stories of the defector from Carlamo, but never mind that. Instead, you have urgent news. Indeed, as you may have heard, the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and a sizable portion of Garland's forces in the cold dome getting dark. With their numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Alameda resistance to keep watch over the border. And it is there we have welcomed a most unexpected visitor who claims that this de-escalation may reveal growing dangers and unforeseen threats. Commander Allen has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss Enigma's revelations. He has also requested a representative of the science attend as well, though it is clear whom he wishes to extend this invitation. It seems time is of the essence. Well, you'll not be attending this meeting alone, though I am not as well versed in the affairs of City 6 as our comrades. I see no reason to burden a single sign with all this. Yes, of course. Then we must make the Alameda quarters with all haste. Well, what are you waiting for? Get going, you two.
So it's supposed to be like really fucking snowy here Monday. So I went to the supermarket early. It's been actually what?
Amateur meteorologists reporting on the snow.
Yeah. What's the weather like? Are they saying you guys gonna get any snow or just a lot of rain?
Neither.
Mm, there you
Let me
go.
check. It's been a lot. Well, a couple of weeks ago there was a lot of rain, but that was about it.
Mm,
And I think it was at the beginning of this month. There was like a tiny, tiny bit of snow, but that's about it.
mm.
No, it says it should be cold but sunny.
Okay. Think we're in for it. Which great. It's great because I got a nice book that I'm reading. It's the shit. Oh my god. Warhammer 40K.
It's not anything I haven't heard of before.
I have the video game, and I played like 40 minutes of it. It was fun.
I'm telling you, if you read this book, you'd be stoked. You'd be like, yeah, let's get back in there. Because I'm looking in my library with like a couple of my 40K games. Like, so your opinion, if you sent people out and it took them 5,000 years to get back, would you consider them human if you are separated with it with on a span of 5,000 years?
Yes. It's a
You
silly question.
consider? I'm just saying. What you
I'm gonna cut you
undoubtedly
off here
them?
real quick. Just gonna say there's voice acting, so I'm gonna mute and deafen myself while you guys have this conversation. Have fun.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, sir.
No, it's good.
No,
I do this all the
it just
time.
happened. Yeah, it just happened.
And I, for one, am grateful that they are. Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark. Not that I understand half of it. When the science spoke of other worlds, I'd struggle to describe what I pictured. Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale from your own lips. But I'm afraid the situation will not afford us that luxury. I trust you two require no introduction.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea. Must we repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows, and brought more than 2 companions. We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence. Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand. Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape. When we were later reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight, but to me his description seemed anything but, and upon further investigation I found that I was right. The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
What, that Allagan monstrosity, created to vanquish primals, with which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
The same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing. But you know as well as I how that tale ended. The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets, and that should have been the end of it. But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit, primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
Indeed, few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanis, and its leadership has changed hands several times since. Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery. What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea. We attempted to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow its progress, so we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did, though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope. Before you say anything, I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you, and you alone, have faced the Ultima weapon, and emerged victorious. We need you. And so, when the time comes, If your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days. But it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all. Even if it means begging your aid. The fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
I too shall make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friend's plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first. I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
The fuck? As ever, the way forward is paved with difficult decisions. You can ill afford to ignore the threat of a new ultimate weapon, but one which has indeed the light of the science proof, ever more perilous. If you cannot stay for a free on the ultimate weapon, it will not stop you. I only ask that you confer with me before returning to base.
Your time span for the God Emperor,
The
who
guy,
ran almost to thousands of years.
the God Emperor was like what, 30?
When he
I mean,
became
no,
the God.
no. I think he was 10,000. 10,000 years,
Yes,
and yeah, I think
a
he
long
was,
time.
yeah, he was a long, he was. Oh, so you know the Dune series. Bravo.
Yeah, we've talked about this several times before.
Yeah, God Emperor of Dune was really one of my favorite of the books. People hated it, but I liked it in the sense that he had to be a tyrant to put adaptive pressures on the human race and to scatter the race. And people feel bad about him being on that bridge on the little buggy falling and into the river and all
It's
that
kind of
great
a lame
shit.
way to kill him. I won't lie. There was a more interesting way he could have taken him out of the picture.
That was great because he couldn't predict the future that had grown outside of him.
You're right,
His,
but the
he could.
scenario is kind of boring, given how
Uh,
grand he is.
it was kind of cool to me. The fact that he was tilting and there's no way he could save himself, and his little chick, you know his little chick died with him. I thought it was nice. The fitting in.
I don't mind that he died. I just wish the scenario was not as drab as it was. He fell off a bridge. To say that in
Yeah,
isolation isn't super exciting.
the thing that they had, but all the things that had to happen so that they could get around his prescience was leading up to the story. It was the natural combination. It was a sad ending, but it was a fitting ending.
I
I'm
don't
good
think
with that.
it's that sad.
I felt bad for him.
I didn't feel bad for him.
He was trying to preserve the human race. Why would you not feel bad for him?
His
Because the
methods
human race
were
is trash!
too extreme.
I gotta mute that with myself again.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source? A new Ultima weapon?
We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Then let us address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion. Thanks in large part to Urianger and Beklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one. An ark for soul and mind both that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
However?
Though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allagan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within aurosite or any other crystal.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel. I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
As well you should be. The Allagan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found. Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
My apologies.
I do hope you haven't come to tell us that mortal peril fast approaches.
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness. But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
Are hilarious. Dude is named Meme Salad.
Sounds normal.
Okay.
I'm into it.
So Kirby, what's this patch supposed to be about?
5.2.
Yeah.
5.1 is setting up the situation that it's now time for you guys to go home because you can't stay in the. Well, you can because
Because I'm wearing the main
you're
protagonist cloak.
no. It's because his transference of your soul was complete. Like he did the ritual perfectly, so you don't have anything to worry about. You can go to the source and to the first in your body, mind, and spirit. No issues. Everybody else, he botched the spell, so only their soul and spirit came to the first. Their bodies are still on the source. So you need to find a way to get everybody back to the first before their souls like dissipate and they're no longer able to their bodies, and then they'll die and return to the live stream. So
Damn,
the
that
first
sounds
patch,
horrible.
it is. So you're trying to find in the first patch. You got to find the Numo Bexuk because he's the only guy who understands matters of the soul more than anybody else in that particular universe, because most everybody is dead. So he's the last person still chilling out in that dungeon that you did. Bring him back so that he will reluctantly impart on you all of his knowledge because you guys are cool and he has nothing else better to do. So he owes the Exarch a favor anyway, so it's fine. Now this patch is you basically chilling with the Exarch and him to assist in their research and finding out what's going on, how to get everybody back to the source. So now you gotta do some research and help them. Alongside dealing with any of the other issues that may arise. As you saw, Ardbert and Coldfingers is back. So good luck with that.
Yeah, it seems like they're throwing a lot of shit in this patch at once. And for us to deal with.
Yes. It's all set up, and it's going to pay off magnificently in the next patch.
Okay. Because that's what I was wondering. It's like, and for what's not even the final patch, they're throwing a lot of shit. So I'm like, are we going to deal with everything at once in this one patch? Or is it going to be fleshed out through this patch in the second and the third?
No, it all, like, comes... It's all drip fed to you, and I think in a well-paced manner. Most all the questions are answered, except for those that come from those that are leading into 5.4 and beyond. So essentially, your job is to make sure that your friends can get back to the first before their time runs out. In which Thancred is on the clock more than anybody else, since he's 4 years in, and it's a miracle
he's
that
nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, which isn't good. So you're on the clock.
Like, okay, I get it that he's in contact with what's his name, Arianje, but the fact that we can't personally see him, I find to be very funny, because like you said, he's the one who's on with the shortest clock. So I find it.
He said he had some business to do, so I guess. He's always on the move.
These can lead to complacency. Yeah?
It usually does, actually.
Me, why not Alphanode? Yeah, let me ask.
He's the diplomat, so yeah.
You cannot be serious. Come now, guys. What could be more inspiring than fighting alongside the renowned warrior of darkness herself?
Man, bump that. I got stage fright.
Come on, Alpha Node. You need to fight more.
He's a healer. He ain't no green DPS.
No, he's an Arcanist.
He's primarily a healer, though. Like, if Alize is the red mage that is more combat heavy, even though she can heal as well, he is clearly the scholar, not the summoner.
I'm gonna stick with he's just a plain Arcanist.
I mean, he can only summon Carbuncle, so that does put that point in your favor. But he summons a special Carbuncle that specializes in support. So I want to put my points
Isn't
into
it
Scholar.
just no, not even that. Never mind. But yeah,
What?
I was gonna say, if that's the case, isn't his carbuncle just the fuck, what's it called? We'll just go with the orange carbuncle that can give you I was gonna say, isn't it just the orange carbuncle that can give you a shield, but no.
Oh, Titan?
Yeah, well, no, well, yeah, I guess it will be Titan
It's
because
it's
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 the upgraded
essentially
version
Titan.
of it.
Yes. But no, he had two. He has the black carbuncle and the white carbuncle. And the white one specializes in
Oh.
support. But like, he's a diplomat, so he's obviously a scholar. Though he doesn't have his PhD, so he has a long way to go.
Yeah, he still needs to get that soul gem so he can graduate.
No, he doesn't have the tattoo that everybody else has. Everybody that has the tattoo has essentially graduated from the Charlian College and has their magic PhD. They don't. Him and Alize have not graduated.
I did not know that. I was referring to he still needs to get his soul gem so he can graduate from being an arcanist and graduate to being a scholar.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I did not know that. Cool. Wait, doesn't Thinkred have that tattoo?
Yes, he does.
Well, I thought he wasn't Charlie.
Well, he's not. He got that from
Oh
Master
yeah,
Louis Quad.
wasn't he like a homeless guy?
No, he was a rogue. And he was an actual thief. Then he became a rogue to protect Minophilia. But he was doing a halfway job of doing that, and bad things ensued.
That's why Minophilia mother gives him shit.
Yeah. But they came in contact with Master Louis Swa at some point, and he studied under him. And since Master Louis Swa is like a Grand Master or whatever, he can give out tattoos to people he sees potential in, which is what he did for Thancred. So he's an honorary member, but he didn't like write a thesis, or he doesn't technically have his PhD, but he is a part of the Cool Kids Club by association.
Okay.
Everybody else, Yustola, Marianne, they have to write their PhD essay, whatever, and submit it. And have it peer reviewed.
Courage and selflessness is something we all aspire to. I too was there that terrible day when friend was transformed to a senator. For my very life, I had no choice but to cut her down. The thought of returning to the view of holding a blade again, it filled me with dread. But there was no way to honor her or my comrades. And so, I have returned. I swear I would not let you or anyone else down from this day forward. A pleasure to meet you, Miss. Truly, it seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight astride on Amaro to go and save the Oracle. Strange to think that Yomorian soldiers you once our utmost to keep the peace here in the planet.
Hey, it wasn't their fault that their leader was insane.
A literal monstrosity.
I wouldn't say I would go that far.
A monstrosity whose father approved of this shit.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was his story, right? Valkyrie?
Oh, I was referring to Renji, but sure. Yes.
That was a great memory, me constantly talking shit about him. I did not like him.
Ranjit or
Ranjit.
Walter?
Well, both of them, but yeah. Right now I'm talking about Ranjit. Fuck that guy. He was so boring.
Yo, I won't lie, he is kind of the weakest part of Shadowbringers as a whole. And he has a very interesting backstory, but it's not really conveyed in a way that makes us care, unfortunately. He essentially has to watch his daughter, his real daughter, die, and then he, through, what do you call it? When you raise somebody in memory of somebody else, like in memory of his daughter, he raises the Menphilias to become warrior princesses, and they all die one by one for like 100 years or however old he is.
Damn.
And he continuously watch all of his daughters die again through Menphilia until the last Menphilia that we know chooses to be herself instead of like our Menphilia, I guess.
Yeah.
And then right when she does that, she forgoes his teachings and uses them against him so that she can be with us. So it's really sad, but they don't really properly convey that back because he's never giving it any time to deliberate on it. And when he does, he's like, power! You're too weak. You'll never be a father to her. Not like me, the clearly superior person.
Ooh, a boss fight.
We have like less than a minute. Good luck. Yeah, I'm sorry to say that's not good enough.
Oh, most definitely. Maybe if I had 3 minutes, but nah.
I didn't see you hit him with not one blasting zone.
Oh, no, I did. See, it's on cooldown.
Unless I'm going crazy.
Yeah,
It's
use
a
it
similar
twice.
move that you do, but I'm like, that's not blasting zone.
Oh, you talking about this move? Burst strike?
Probably.
Hold on, let me find it. Let me find a enemy. Here we go. Yeah, this is burst strike,
No, not that.
and this is blasting zone.
Oh, well, never mind. Yeah. I'm much bigger before. No, you should have kicked them in the face.
It's like getting out the way.
Should have shut that down.
Also, hold on. I'll also show you the moves when they're buffed by No Mercy.
Nope, still looks the same. You're right. Man, those things are so creepy.
Bro, it looks more like a robot. Oh, there's its eyes. Right there. That is creepy.
I don't know if it's just the fact that we've been around them longer, but the voice sent are a little bit more, I don't know, pleasant to look at.
Did you slay this eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
Gankrit? I can't think of anybody else.
By himself? Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did.
Oh, him. You know, I was actually gonna ask you, is he back? Because when we, because at the end of that trailer, he actually looked like he was in flesh and blood.
All will be revealed very soon.
So I says to him, who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness? And he says, no, I'm a warrior of light. And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
A warrior of light? Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be her, the warrior of darkness.
Hey? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
I had hoped to fight at your side today, but I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat. As for this warrior of light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood. The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sin Eaters, I may forgive him his unfortunate choice of alias. But that is neither here nor there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Forgive me. There is one more thing. A personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
Ah, that's a pretty nice ninja outfit.
Fat Cat Fan Club. Please get that out of my face.
Wait, oh my god. Ah, alright.
God, why did you click on it?
Supporting chunks of all sizes.
And lifestyles.
And like, bro, now, right now, all they're missing is the role-playing tag.
I'm shocked it's not applicable.
What outfit is that, though? Let's see. Wear the Tatari chainmail.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch. Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with a salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating. Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true. It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man, a younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy. It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there. Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before. Are you sure? Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been. What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work. This research is important, I know, but if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
A daunting daughter.
She is essentially his daughter, yes.
It's a nice relationship. Alright, gonna stop recording for a bit. Oh, can I just pause it? Yeah, I can.
I'll just end the recording.